Thank you, Mark. Thank you, everybody. It's a good time to talk about the economy, right? Just a couple of things have happened over, the last couple of weeks, right? So today we're going to go through four portions of the economy. We have growth, we have employment, we have inflation, and we have interest rates. And we're, of course, going to be looking at these through a workers' compensation lens. Economic uncertainty has risen, and the probability of a recession is up. But the consumer is key. Where the consumer goes, the economy is going to follow as well. If the consumer is able to continue to hold spending patterns that we've seen over the last couple of years, all of this worry should dissipate over time, and we can see the economy continue to grow as we go forward. And lastly, workers' compensation behaves differently in different types of recessions. So if we are going to experience economic turmoil, we're all going to be hoping that's going to be a short, mild recession rather than something longer or deeper where we would have larger impacts to workers' comp. Now let's transition into the second section of the presentation, employment. Labor market indicators lag the broader economy, so there's not much that we can take away yet from the solid labor market experience that we've had in the beginning of the year. If the economy is heading down a more nefarious path, we'll see a deterioration in the labor market later than we would in other indicators. But there are some important things to still watch. As we think about the leading indicators within the labor market, we haven't seen any warning signs just yet either. And lastly, when we think about not only the near-term risks to workers' compensation from a possible recession, we also want to keep an eye on the longer-term risks, thinking about the demographic makeup of the labor force, as well as the potential available supply of workers that we might have 5 or so years down the line. Now let's move into inflation. Whether it's the word or not, prices are going to be going up as a result of tariffs. We have a history of well-documented economic principles that tell us this, and in fact, even some of the largest proponents of these policies concede that these policies are likely to see prices going up across a large swath of goods in the economy. Workers' compensation is likely to be directly impacted from pharmaceuticals and durable medical equipment, and then also indirectly impacted in all other services. And lastly, and the key takeaway here, we think with the information that we have right now, that medical price impacts for the workers' comp system are likely to be manageable. Now let's head into the last section, interest rates. The Fed might be caught between two sides of its mandate if those forecasts for higher employment and higher inflation come due at the same time. Despite higher recession risks, yields have been rising because of concerns over inflation, as well as concerns over the national debt and whether some of those longer-term debt obligations will be paid back. And lastly, unsustainable deficits and budget trickery could keep those longer-term yields elevated, even if we were to see lower interest rates from the Fed. And we want to think about those longer-term yields as our discount factor for workers' compensation rather than short-term. So this has been a trip through the economy. I hope everybody was able to take something away and learn something from this experience.